Summer's coming, bruv. Summer's coming.
Summer is coming. It's my favourite time of the year.
Facts.
My favourite season.
Okay, I hear you.
Definitely made me feel good and that. You know them ones?
For it, though.
Oh, lie me, Bridget. Lie me. Do you want me to say it on camera?
It's calm. It only takes 12 weeks, fam. It's calm.
You want me to tell it on camera? Identify as.
Go on, bro. I think they need to hear it.
All right. So identify as overweight, middle-aged white man. Yeah, that's what I identify as.
You're doing well. You're on track, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Until I get back to my godlike king body.
Yeah.
That's what I shall be known as from now on.
What's the name?
It could be anything. Bob. Robert. Greg.
Carpenter Bob.
Yeah. Well, builder. Like Bob.
Yeah, facts.
You never know. Right, before we get on, obviously we got our relationship topics. We like to cover relationship topics.
It's got to be done.
I want to ask you this question, yeah?
Go on.
And just tell me if it's true or false.
Let me deep
or
it.
what's your thoughts on it? This isn't the actual topic. This is just a question I thought was pretty funny.
Go on.
All right. So, having a female as a best friend is like having chicken. Eventually, you're gonna eat it someday. Like what?
Such a random question. That's a random question. Having a should I learn again?
Having a female as a best friend
Yeah.
is like having a chicken as a pet. You're gonna eventually eat it one day.
I do be eating chicken, cuz.
You know what? It's a random one. I just seen.
No, do you know what I say? My response to that is, I don't know what my response to that is. Yeah, I guess a weaker man would.
Yeah, that's your response.
That's my response. A weaker
man would.
It's a good question. I like that.
It's a good question, isn't
That's
it?
a good question.
It's not a question. It's like a state. It's like a rhetorical.
Yeah, facts.
It don't require an answer. It's just, you know what I mean? What's your opinion on that? I guess a weaker man would. Fair enough. Let's keep it moving. Let's get to the actual
topic,
bones and meat.
Because this is what the people tune in for. They want to know relationship ins and outs, wagwan from two men that know wagwan, innit?
100%.
So let's be real with the people then.
Okay, so this week we are gonna talk about when is a relationship not for you. Yeah, so that means
that's good. That's
and how we're gonna pull it in context is when do you start realizing this is not where you want to be?
That's good. I think.
What signs? What's the motion? What's the actions?
Before we get there, I have to say this. Sometimes, because what the conversation at the moment is on social media, oftentimes is that we got to think about ourselves now.
Yeah,
you got to be self-focused, self-love, self-determined. Think about our future, our inheritance. What do we want to go in the future and before us? And in that context, if we're being selfish, we've got to think about ourselves.
Okay.
You wouldn't ask that question if you were committed to something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you were in a committed relationship, you may say, come what may, it doesn't matter. I'm committed to this individual. So come what may, I'm going to go forward. You can't answer the question because it's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
We're going to be together forever. That's what.
Well, especially if you like made vows. If you're married, that can't really be a question that runs through your mind.
So it's a question you avoid.
Yeah, of course.
But in other circumstances and other things, there might be red flags.
Okay.
There might be some self-hurt. There might be some PTSD that could arise, and you could be thinking to yourself, is this right? Is this relationship good for me?
You feeling like you're going down the same path.
Might be getting flashbacks, feeling how you once felt one day.
Ooh.
How someone else made you feel. Do you know what I mean?
It's deep. Where this conversation goes depends on how deep it gets.
I like let's dive in. Let's dive in.
It is, isn't it?
Let's dive in. Let's dive in.
It is, right. Go. You lead.
Okay, so repose the question to me.
So when do you realize that a relationship's not for you? I might have said it different a few times, but that's the basis of what it is.
And the reality of that question is,
or your relationship's not for you, not a relationship. Your relationship.
The reality of that question for me is, and probably with everybody is, every relationship you've been unless that person's passed away, every person you've been with has been the wrong person.
Unless you're currently with them now, yeah.
Yeah. So if you look back on all of the relationships, so I've not had a success story because every relationship, as from today backwards, has been the wrong person for me, quote unquote.
But wrong person on your side or wrong person on theirs, or a bit of both?
Interesting.
Like, were you the wrong person, or
that's interesting.
Or are you able to even self-reflect enough to know you were the wrong person?
So
because that's deep. That takes a lot.
Some people even write books.
Oh, do they?
Some people even write books on their own self-reflections.
Jeez.
I think I have reflected on a number of relationships, and I would say I've been in a wrong position.
Okay.
I was going to say a joke there, but I lied.
Do you know what? I was waiting for something.
I let that go. I've been the wrong person and the wrong position for every relationship I've been in.
You needed to switch positions.
No, what the this Negro.
Sorry, go on.
No, but what I mean is, I don't think I should have ever been in any of the relationships that I was in. They were too deep.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
What do you mean too
I wasn't
deep?
ready. I wasn't ready for those kind of relationships. I should have been focusing on myself. I shouldn't have been in any of the relationships.
Like, it's not a secret. We spoke about it. You were married. You don't get no more. Like,
so I'm happy for the outcomes of the marriage, but in terms of a relationship, if I looking back, I wish I still had the kids, but every relationship I've ever had, I should have been not as deep as I was in that relationship. Do you know what I mean? I should have just focused on my education.
Yeah.
Focusing on myself.
Okay.
Health and fitness. Focusing on my own wealth.
Yeah.
Wealth creation and things of that nature. So I'm on a negative at the moment on every relationship.
You know what? That's deep, you know.
Yeah, that's facts.
Because like what I just got from that
Talk the thing
is just saying, obviously, before we enter into this relationship, we should have ourselves in check first. But sorry, people, I'm just coming back from illness. You know, it's creeping up. But I think we're taught early, maybe not even taught, peer pressured early to get a girlfriend.
Yeah, facts.
Like, if you're in school, especially our age, I don't know about now because obviously we're not there, but our age, and actually talking from experience, being around people around that age, you get to 15, 16, you haven't got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, people are looking at you a bit weird. Like,
yeah, facts.
So what? You ain't got, so what? This ain't happening, so that ain't happening. So obviously at that stage, you're not really taught, yo, get yourself in order first. Make sure you've got, like you said, your stuff sorted. And that's not going to happen at 15 and 16. That might happen at 36, 37. You know, it might take you 20 years for you to put yourself in a position to say, you know what, right now, I'm ready. So all of that time, that 20 years in between, like you said, you're going through wrong relationships because you're not ready.
Yeah, facts. And I think because my focus wasn't.
I'm not talking about you personally.
Yeah, no. I just realised I was myself. I was like saying in terms of the question at hand, but my focus was wrong. I think oftentimes our focus is wrong because our focus isn't on let's have a great. I'm ready for a great relationship. Our focus is kind of like scattered.
Yeah.
I mean, they generally say that women or girls are ready for a relationship younger than us. Some of that's maybe biological, but some of it is just because our eyes are scattered. Our viewpoint on life in the world is scattered. So we just do anything and whenever. And there's so many relationships I ended up in just because I just ended up in them. They weren't planned relationships.
Yeah.
It was either a gal I was running with and I was like,
it's time to,
I'm here, innit? Well, go on, let's be official. And then that's the dates that you've been on, the money you spent, the hotels you bought, the flying up here, flying down here, not necessarily, you know what I mean? All that thing costs money. When you think about it.
Dating's expensive.
It ain't a joke, cuz.
Dating's expensive. So that's another concept of it. That's another part. So you're saying like, you get to that point where you're saying, big man, dating's expensive. Like I've spent, like I'm not talking personal, but I'm saying like you could say I've spent upwards of £10,000 in the last couple of years going on dates, doing this, doing that. Better I just find someone. Like better I just find someone and rather than spend that money on numerous people.
Because in reality, what are you chasing?
Yeah.
Some of us are chasing our own reflections. Some of us have got our own demons that we're chasing, and because we can't remember our dad calling our names when we were a child, we're running to get a girl to scream our names.
Yo, you're talking trauma right now. This is what I said. Depending on where the conversation goes, depending on how deep it gets.
Because we've gone off topic. The real question.
When do we ever go on topic?
That's a fact.
Ever.
The original question is like, when do you know you're in the right relationship? Or sorry, specifically, say it again to me.
When do you know you're in the wrong relationship?
Yeah, when do you know when you're in the wrong relationship? And the flip side to that is when do you know when you're in the right relationship? So the wrong relationship, I would say, is you don't feel whole. It's not. Because to me, this is how I speak about life anyway. I'm like, if I've got a vision for where I want my life to go, my life path, does being with this person help me on my path?
Okay.
And if they don't help me, if they're more of a hindrance or they're slowing me down or keeping me off-centered or not making me look at the prize, then I think I'm in a wrong relationship. Does that make sense? I think a relationship should have a direction. If you're in a directionless relationship, then it's a pointless relationship because there's no point to it.
Yeah.
And when we get into pointless relationships, we may have kids. We may come on, let me just get a full-time job in this specific, office job, insurance, whatever, because I've got a relationship now, we got to settle down. When really you want to be like a movie star, or you want to be a poet, or you want to be a friggin' videographer, or you want to be this, that, and the other, and you come off your track of what you actually want to be in your core, you're a creative person, or you might just be someone that wants to travel the world, and you stop doing that because of this relationship. It slows you down, and there's loads of people that live with regret, and they're like 40 years old, 50 years old, and they realize, wow, I wanted to go traveling as a kid. I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that.
So I'm hearing all of that, 100%.
Talk the ting, brother.
Do you not think sometimes you just have to grow up? Like, so if you're talking, we're talking, say we're taught 16 to 26, 10 years, yeah? Mm. You have all of this mad ambition, all of these plans. In those 10 years, you don't achieve none of it. There could be a million reasons why. But you know what I'm saying? I want to travel, I want to do this, but in them 10 years, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Regardless, brother. It doesn't matter what was going on in between. Them 10 years, you did nothing. Yep. So then sometimes you have to face reality because you could be going another 20 years trying to do them things that you didn't do in them 10 years. So now you could be talking 30 years. You could be in your 50s now saying, you know what though, but I wanted to be an actor. Yeah. I'm not ready for a relationship because I've still got dreams I need to follow. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be talking that same talk.
Yeah.
Like I think there should be a time scale.
Okay.
I think that makes more sense.
Okay.
Have a time scale. Right. I'm going to leave school. I'm going to go and chase my ambitions. I'm going to go and do my dreams. I'm going to go and do what I need to do.
Yeah.
10 years, big man. If you're still chasing that same dream, or sometimes you just have to grow up. I don't like the phraseology that you're using. I don't like the term grow up, but I get your point. Point. You have to face reality. But people would say grow up, innit? Okay, face reality. That's a better, because I'm not grown up. Them ones, I'm not grown up. Like there's still times I look back and say, right, I want to do this and this, but it's not reality. That's
a fact. Like I always say this, like my dad when he was 20 is a totally different 20-year-old than when I was 20.
100%.
Because like when my dad was 20 in his 20s, he was like a grown man, full beard, had responsibility, had kids. I had my kids in my 20, but him in 20 and me in 20 is totally different.
100%.
Like, I'm 35 and I still think farts are funny.
That's
me. That's who I am.
Different generation. We're a broken generation.
Everything's broken out here, cuz.
It is broken generation.
So let's restate the question and let's go into the meat and let's
go into it. So when do you know a relationship is not for you? I've said this same statement different about 8 times.
And I want you to answer that question now, bro. What I've noticed, yeah. Oh snap, bruv. What I've noticed on these episodes,
Yeah.
is that it's therapy to me because I get to just chat and I just talk in it. You're rather quiet sometimes, bro.
I'm very quiet.
You're a very, very quiet and composed kind of guy, innit?
Yeah.
Talk to me. What go on? Look back in your past.
Big man, we don't listen.
I'm
If
joking,
we
I'm
go
joking.
there, yeah, I mean, you need to be qualified. You need to be qualified to be digging around there, big man.
No, I'm joking.
Listen, psychiatrists have been there, big man.
Talk to me. What are you saying? What's your thoughts on the question?
What, when do you know?
Yeah, when do you know?
Do you know what? I think for me, it's probably difficult.
Okay. And why is it difficult?
Because I'd see things, most things, not as a joke, but
Yeah.
you could get past it. In my life, in my situations,
Yeah.
like I said before,
Yep.
as far as I know, I've never been cheated on. So, like other things, I just feel like, you know what? Maybe this aspect is not right, but it might make up for things in other aspects.
Yeah.
So, but I've had that feeling, like you've had that feeling, like everyone's had that feeling
Where
where,
you're like, oh.
you know, when someday you wake up and you say, "This ain't for me," you know.
Yeah. And to be fair, I've had that at bare times. Yeah. And
Every
and you
time.
know what I've done, and you know what I do, and this is such a negative thing. Maybe people do it as well. Is I've been like, yep, I know this ain't going nowhere, but I'm just not the one to break up.
Okay.
Just be like, yeah, let's go with it. All right, cool.
So you just run it, but I know about.
And just run with
no,
it
I think
until-
most people do that though.
Yeah.
Like,
That's years of I could have known in after a few months, and then the whole case of the relationship was 6 years, 4 years. You know what I mean? And you knew.
like when people say, like, to be fair, we probably should have broke up 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew,
I was leaning more to 2 years ago. But yeah, okay, 6 months.
Yeah,
I
I knew,
agree.
you knew, but we kind of pushed it and we
Yeah.
kind of because I think at that time 6 months ago, someone wasn't ready for that conversation. Even though you probably both knew,
Yeah.
one of the parties weren't ready for that conversation then.
Facts. Yeah, facts.
6 months later, they've got to that point of, all right, you know, I'm ready for that. But
So,
prior to that, they might not have been ready for that conversation.
Would you say there's red flags in a relationship when you know that, okay, this person's not right for me, or I'm not right for that person, or this relationship ain't right?
What do you mean? Would you say? Yeah, they're red flags.
Okay. And what would they be? What kind of signs would they be?
Well, I don't know. It's different, isn't it? Every relationship's different. Like every single person. Like the thing is, you speak to different people about different parts of the relationship, and you might say that doesn't bother me.
Facts.
Like we've got, well, probably not but I've got friends that like on the football side of things, they come home from work, put the stuff down, bam, 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 they're gone to the pub. Yeah. Every night they're in pub, you know, like old school. Like, you know, they get back, say hello to the wife, give the kids a kiss. And then 7 o'clock, they're in the pub till 9, 10 o'clock. Come back, do their thing. That couldn't run in my relationship. Not a chance, brother. That couldn't run. Obviously, man's busy and like I do things. But most things I do are productive. It's not going to chill with my brethrens. It's to do something. You know, them ones. I'm not I'm just going to go out and go check Dean at the pub. That's not me. I don't do that. I've never been that person. But in some people's relationship, that is the norm. Whereas in my relationship, that wouldn't happen.
Okay.
You know, that would be a deal breaker.
Yeah. On their part or your part, or just...
Well, like it might be on both. Imagine I come from a relationship where that's been normal. Then I get to a new relationship and they're like, no, like unless you're doing something, you're not just going out with your friends all night.
So how much of your life has to be affected for you to realize that this relationship isn't right? Because there's some relationships where you have to sacrifice a part of yourself, whether it's sacrifice your habits, whether it's sacrificing things that you used to do or you do, or new things that you have to do, new things every year around Christmas. Maybe your Christmas used to be, you just grab food, sit down on the sofa, or now you have to go visit family and this, that, and the other. So how much of yourself? Because for me, maybe that's because of personally, I'm talking about it. Maybe it's because if I lost a lot of myself in previous relationships, holding on to who I am as a person means a lot to me. Whereas other people might be like, right, I just want to create a new norm.
And
I just want norm.
You know, it's a good thing to say because I think we see it a lot within friendship groups. You know when someone's in a relationship because they change.
Yeah.
You know, like they're a complete new person. They might be a new person around you. They might be just a new person in general.
Yeah.
Like little things that you notice that they might not even notice. Like we said, like after something, you might say, yo, man, I want to grab food. Yeah. Now, no chance.
Yeah.
As soon as we think they're gone.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, yo, it's not even
next week.
next week, and they're gone. So it might be little things like that. And I think we see it a lot with people where they do change, like they adapt and they're happy with it.
Yeah, facts.
Or then we might see the complete opposite, where you might say to him, like, yo, brother, like, and you got to get out. Like, when are you actually gone? Like, when was the last time you seen her? Like
facts.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, facts,
What do you mean
facts.
2 weeks ago? Yeah, she's calm still. She knows what it's like. She knows who I am.
And the thing is, everyone's relationship's so different.
So that's what I'm saying.
So,
It depends on...
Because some dynamics, you don't need to see them. You don't need to see your partner every day.
No.
Some dynamics, they need to see you every day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Some dynamics, you just need to be in their presence. Some things, you need to plan adventures, dates. Like, you know what I mean? So...
Where do you think the balance is? Like, obviously we're experts, so we're giving our expert opinion. But where do you think the balance is?
I think the balance is at the feet of the man. Whatever the man wants to do, the woman should just humble herself.
Yeah, Tate.
Facts.
Okay, masculinity over everything.
That's what we need in this day and age, isn't it? I was gonna say it as a joke, but I'm actually being serious now. Let me tell
Go on then.
I wasn't gonna bat for this side, but then I just thought, all right,
Go on then,
cool,
do
let me run
your
it.
thing, because I'm not involved, big one.
What we need at this moment in time, because the landscape of dating and relationships is so screwed. Yeah, we need the extreme.
Okay.
At one point, masculinity. What's the word I'm looking for? At one point, men were ruling, innit?
Okay.
Now I think the men are very feminine, and we are laying rose petals at the feet of our women, which is cute, which is dope. But I think they run relationships right now,
Okay, yeah.
and I don't think they should run relationships. Is what I'm saying.
Why? Why is it more... I can't think of the word, not important. I say important, but why is it more that a man should run a relationship more than a woman?
Because women have been running relationships.
No, but you just said men run relationships.
At one point in history, men run relationships.
Okay, yeah,
and we're leaders. We're masculine men. We're taking control. As of recently, there's a lot of femininized men who are all passive men, shall I say? I don't even
Passive, okay, I like the word passive.
Passive in terms of their relationships, in terms of their goals, in terms of their desires for the future of their family and leading their family in a positive direction. It's just passive. Well, go on. Oh, where do you want to go on a date? Well, where do you want to go, darling? Yeah, let's go there, innit? Oh, where do you want to go on holiday? Oh, yeah, wherever. Where do you want to go? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, do you know what I mean? Very passive.
Okay.
Now, I think it would be great for us to see the extremes for a moment, then just to balance the scale.
But then I think
the scale's like this. What we need is an extreme shift, and then at the letter end, it will balance out. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, no, do you know what?
Go
I
on,
hear
talk
what
to
you're
me,
saying, but I feel like there probably is still relationships like that.
Yeah, that's good.
I feel like...
Do you know what? I think the relationships are still lasting today.
Like there probably is relationships like that. Like, you know, ooh, love, you know, seen Tenerife. Yeah, we ain't going Tenerife. Get out of your mind right now. Yeah, but no, listen, every year we go Benidorm. Yeah, book the Benidorm hotel, the one I like. Yeah, but the kids, I don't care about the kids.
Wait.
It's the one I like. Book the Benidorm, and that's where we're going.
So I'm saying there's an extreme, but that's not the response I was referring.
So
to.
what do you mean?
But I just mean led in a positive.
Yeah, but that's
sense.
the lead.
No, that's dragging. That's dragging without.
Listen, I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know if you could lead with positivity.
No, you can.
Because you're gonna win.
Yeah, and I think it's appropriate.
Yeah, but you're gonna win. So
this is what I think the dynamic should be.
Yeah.
A woman tells you what she would like.
Yes.
A man hears what she says and takes an appropriate response. Yeah. Babes, I just want to spend time with you. That's their response. The guy just wants to spend time and have fun.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if the man hears that and he's like, yeah, boom, this is what I think would be fun.
So but you're just saying taking a lead. That's not.
That's correct. That's what I'm saying.
That's taking a lead.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying.
That's not a boom.
No, what I'm saying is passivity is not good.
Okay.
So we need an extreme. So if the extreme is the Andrew Tate, the demand,
Exactly. That's not taking a lead.
No,
That's taking control.
That's what I'm saying. Taking control. Yeah, that's the extreme, and then we can balance out in a few years. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying extreme to balance to taking a lead.
So for us to get balance in a few years' time. Right now it's very feminine, isn't it? Let's go to the extreme.
I don't know where we are. I'm lost. I don't know where we are. When do you know if you're in a good or bad relationship? I don't know where we are.
Wait, this is when you know you're in a good relationship. If Andrew Tate would say, "Well done, my son."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's how you would now judge your relationships. Okay.
Scrap that. I was trying to banter for a second. I don't know when you know you're in a good relationship. I just think when you're both in a positive stance and you've got a direction, it's a positive relationship.
Okay.
No, if you have no direction, you can't have a positive or negative. You're just existing.
To be honest, I think someone probably does have to take the lead.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that has to be the man.
Neither am I, but I think
that might be the woman might take the lead.
Yeah.
Like someone has to be the decision maker.
Yeah, facts.
And I guess when you know you're in a good or not a bad relationship, you might have two decision makers, or you might have two passive, where nothing gets done.
Yeah, that's good.
Because you're both like, or two people take the lead and you want to do this, they want to do that, and you just constantly crash.
Areas. Yeah. So I think a positive relationship is when you're building something. Whether you're building relationships, so the relationship itself is getting stronger.
Yeah.
Whether you're building a vision for the future in terms of where you want to lead your kids, if you have kids or anything like that, or if you're building a business together,
so
or if your individual lives are growing, I think it's a positive relationship.
I think then, like, if you're gonna add children in and responsibilities, I think then that starts muddying the water.
In terms of,
because then your decisions you're making are going to be based on those influences.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Like, you could be in the worst relationship ever.
Yeah.
Personal for you, but because you have children, you're gonna withstand it because you got. So I think that's a difficult one to, when you start adding the dynamics of responsibilities, children, mortgages. That makes things a lot different.
It makes it different, but I don't think it changes the dynamics.
You don't think it changes?
It does change the dynamics, but it doesn't change the essence of the relationship. Because, in my opinion, the relationship has to have a purpose.
Yeah.
So if the purpose doesn't get necessarily make it muddy, it actually clarifies the relationship.
You reckon?
Yeah, because if your vision is for you to grow together, and that child in the relationship may change your relationship to one another, but it's still heading in the right direction in terms of, okay, the Henry name is getting stronger and bigger. Do you know what I mean? So even I don't think it's necessary to mud the water, but I think even in dynamics where you're just dating, there has to be before you get into a relationship to some extent, there has to be a purpose. Yeah. Like, I like you, you like me, I see something in you that would be positive. Yeah, I see something in you that's positive that we can, grow together. Does that make sense? So I think if your relationship's not growing and it doesn't seem to have any purpose, and if it doesn't seem to have any purpose, you may need to think about what is the relationship for.
Is that a conversation, or is that something you need to look within?
I'd say my advice to you guys out there, depending on the age of the relationship, will depend on whether you need to think internally or externally. If that relationship is below a year, I say if it's below 6 months, you can look inwardly and say, is it good for me? If you're not good for me, you're not good for me. So you can separate. But if you've been there for a couple of years, I think the conversation needs to be had between the two of you. Okay, where is this actually relationship going? Because sometimes relationships do start off with purpose. We're getting to know each other. We seems like we like each other. We seem like we're having fun together. We're growing, and therefore you got to realize, right, 2 years in, what's actually going on here?
What happened? When did we stop growing?
Exactly. And that's when the conversation could be had together.
Jeez, there we go, people. It's been a very left episode.
Very left, yeah.
But
left
that's
right,
what happens.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, we haven't been black for a while, so I'm only gonna use that for this episode. Yeah. I'm never gonna use it again. No, that's good. It's just because when I hear it, I think it's funny.
Yeah. That's good.
There was somebody gonna hear that. Yeah. But as we said, Broken Generation, we are black this week, and we are people. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, broken_generation. Generation _ podcast.
Last name Henry. That's on the Instagram.
ITZ. It's Danger on the Instagram. And the new look, Sophisticated Rebel Media channel.
Come
with
on, plug
new
that.
content coming very, very
that.
soon.